right, jabronis, we're back. Crazy week going on. A lot of shit. Early week of recording. I'm recording this early. I got shit going on, shit to do. This could be the quickest one yet. I don't know. Maybe it'll beat. I think I had an 18-minute episode. Shit talking gym goers from way back in the day. But this might be even shorter than that. We'll see. I am pretty good at flapping my gill, so it might be extended. But got shit going on. It's late at night. Getting ready for Vegas, our SummerSlam trip. I'll get to that a little bit later. But I mean, we're episode 70, folks. How many of you idiots thought we were going to make it this far? So that's pretty exciting, at least for me. Pretty happy about that. Maybe we'll do something cool for the 75th episode. I don't know. If you have ideas, send them out. Put them in the comments on YouTube's or hit me in the email. LibrettiPodcastDiary@gmail.com. If you have any good ideas or maybe special guests you want to see on, let me know. We'll try to make it happen for that. That would be pretty cool to do. But anyway, a lot of craziness going on with Afghanistan. I'm not going to really get into that because that's a whole ball of wax that takes a lot of time to delve into. And I don't want to put my personal opinions and experiences out there on that just yet because we got work to do. We're not done. We're not done with that yet. I will say this though, in a quick bitch fit, all the people out there pointing fingers and playing the blame game, or the folks that are simping hard on their guy to make sure that that person doesn't get blamed for this fiasco. It's like that's such a fucking tired approach. If you can't objectively step back to see who's accountable for what, not just this situation, but in general, if you're so married to your team and your guy and you're so biased and closed-minded that you have to make sure you let everybody know that, it's not this person's fault, it's somebody else's fault. That's not the issue at hand with this whole Afghanistan situation, folks. Okay, it's not about whose fault it is. It's about fixing the problem. So stop pointing fingers. Stop defending your guy or gal. Stop being beta bitch boys about it, and realize the situation at hand. What the real problem is to talk adult-like, professionally, critically analyzing, and talk about the potential solutions and how we can actually get there. And there are a lot of smart people out there pushing out good ideas. We got to listen to those folks, and we got to tell the people in the leadership positions how to make it happen. Stop pointing fingers. Stop flooding the airwaves of social media with that bullshit. Okay? It's absolute nonsense. Everybody's at fault. I got news for you. Everybody, all the suits out there in D.C. are at fault. They've been there. They've been doing it for decades. Everybody's fault. And if you think it's just one administration or another, I got news for you. You're wrong. It's all of them. And guess who the common denominators have been the entire time? This whole 20 years of Afghanistan fighting. Guess who's been in? The House and Senate, the congressmen and the senators. They're the common denominators, folks. The people that we keep voting in decade after decade. Look at these old dinosaurs. These are the people making the decisions year in and year out when it comes to our national defense and our military and who we fight and how long we fight and why we fight. It's not some old rich white idiot who can't even read a sentence properly off a teleprompter. It's not that person. It's not the figurehead sitting in the Oval Office. It's the people we keep voting decade after decade with these dinosaurs that are 100 millionaires as public servants. Imagine that. Imagine being a cop for 30 years and you're worth $100 million. That sounds crazy, right? Why is it normal for these senators and congressmen to do that then? It's not, okay? But we keep voting them in. They keep making these rules and changing the game for their corrupt political benefit. And this is what it affects. It affects things like military situations and national defense, and human lives get affected because of it. So think about that. Before you play the blame game, it's everybody. Everybody's at fault in some way, shape, or form. We're at fault because we continue to vote these bastards in because we can't get away from our team. We got to stick to our team and toe the party lines all the time, no matter what. Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer. These people are dinosaurs. They're in their 70s and 80s. Imagine your grandpa or your grandma. These are the people. Imagine them in office, holding congressional office right now, making decisions that affect 330 million people for years and years to come, not just one-off situations. These are the people in charge right now. They're in diapers, and they're making decisions on our entire country. Okay, you want to point fingers, cast a wide net because it's every fucking buddy. Now, on to more important things. Before we step into the cage, another update for you on the potential tomato tragedy. We are now down from 12 to 10 Jesus Christ tomato plants hanging on by a thread. We got 2 that just couldn't make the rain continues. We're on 7 days of rain now. It's unbelievable. 7 of the last 10 days it's been raining. And you think like, oh, that's good for the plants. Not when they're only getting flooded and waterboarded. It's not good. Everything has to be in moderation. And they're just getting their shit pushed in day in and day out. And the 10 are continuing to endure. So we got our fingers crossed. We're working. These guys are staying strong, and we'll keep you updated on that. Maybe one day soon I can come and show you the fruits of our labor, if you will. I don't know if tomatoes are fruits or vegetables. The jury's still out on that. Hot debate. But maybe I'll come in I'll show you a jar of the tomato paste or crushed tomatoes that I make or whatever. Hopefully one day soon. Hopefully, maybe. Don't know yet. Anyway, that's the update. Let's get right into it. We got, not a lot to cover. I'm mostly bullshit, but we'll figure it out. We'll make it work, but we'll just step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Oscar Schlotter's Blowjob Knee Pads. How many times have you found yourself in a situation where you're with a guy and the opportunity for a random blowjay presents itself, but you can't make it work because your knees are in shambles and you can't take another beating by a hardwood floor or a tile floor? Well, worry no more, because with BJ's knee pads, you'll always be ready for the task. Oscar's patented pad technology provides low-profile padding that can be worn with any outfit and still provide that much-needed protection and support when it comes time for the BJ. So visit www.suckmore.com and use the promo code SCHLOTZ for 5% off your first pair. Function and fashion. That's a key. That's a real X factor with these pads. Usually you got to sacrifice one for the other. Oscar has found a way to make both happen at a pretty reasonable price. And you get a pretty reasonable discount too. So go check it out. Suckmore.com. Sounds reputable. So anyway, Cage Fact. So we talked very briefly one time months ago, maybe even a year ago, about Nick Cage's sons and the uniqueness, if you will, of his family dynamic. He's got the one son named after a superhero character. He's got another son, an older son, Weston, from his first wife, who's an actor and a musician. So this is the fact now in it. He's an actor and a musician. He actually played in the movie Lord of War, which is a Cage classic with Nick himself, Jared Leto, a couple other big names, his son Weston, and it was about a guy who was, selling weapons to all types of folks, good and bad, based on an actual true story. So you should go check that out. Most of the stuff is a real deal, and it kind of goes into my previous bitch fit about the corrupt politicians and stuff like that. And you'll kind of see a little bit of that in that movie. But also it's Nick Cage, so why wouldn't you want to go see it? Anyway, his son's in it too. His son, Weston, is also the lead of two, what do they call them? Black metal bands. One is called Eyes of Noctum. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And the other one is called Arch Anubis. 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 I don't know. Somebody help me out here. Anubis or Anubis. A-N-U-B as in Bravo. I-S as in sex. Let me know what the correct pronunciation is, and I'll fix myself in the future. But that's the Cage fact. He's got a unique son. He's an actor. He's an entertainer. He's a musician. He does black metal stuff. Quite the talent. There you go. That's the fact. You're welcome. Jumping into the junction. Moving right along, folks. Moving right along. Spin the logo up. I mentioned earlier, it's a reminder, really, that SummerSlam is coming up this week. We're leaving. So for timeline education or timeline clarification, by time this episode comes out, it'll be LPDS Sunday Sermon. SummerSlam will be over at that point. We will be on our en route back from Vegas, but we got to put this episode out. You know, we got to give the people what they want. So I'm recording super early on Wednesday evening. It's like 10 p.m. already. But when this comes out on Sunday, SummerSlam will be done. But the hope is to get content out on Instagram and Facebook maybe, and I'll try to add some playlists like short clips on YouTube as well for people while we're out there in Vegas doing the do at the Slam, at the conventions beforehand or whatever. Try to snag some interviews again. Really try to make the trip worthwhile and also put out content while it's happening for you guys. And then there's also I'm trying to get Vegas recordings, for an episode in the future with the Bone Crusher. I'll keep you posted on that. Hopefully that works out. We'll see if we can get some gear out there to make it work. But very excited about that. It'll be a good break from work, from the grind, as some of you people call it. And it'll be a good time to get out there, work on the tan, wear a lot of wrestling shirts, tank tops, see a bunch of sweaty guys jumping on each other inside of a box. That'll be fun. And it'll be good. Last week, I wish I recorded later in the week. I wish I was able to. I had to go up to Jersey for a family thing, that I had to take care of. But before that, Crusher and I went to this, I don't know what you want to call it, minor league, independent league. I don't want to knock it because the people there were working hard, like the wrestlers were working hard, and some of them were younger and trying to make it to the top. Some of them were obviously older, and this is just like a passion or hobby or what have you. But we went to this like minor league, like high school gym equivalent type of wrestling event, like pro wrestling event, not high school Greco-Roman singlet wrestling. None of that garbage, none of that real garbage. It was ACW, Adrenaline Championship Wrestling, something like that. Anyway, this was in a nightclub adjacent to and part of a bowling alley. So you got a nightclub with a ring that they put where the dance floor was, and it's dark. It's a nightclub, a bar, grill, nightclub, whatever you want to call it, lounge. It's dark in there. There's not a lot of spotlight because it's supposed to be the ambiance of a lounge. There's a wrestling ring in there. There's about 120 seats, 120 or so seats for us to sit and watch for audience. And then directly next to it, through glass doors that you can see through, is a goddamn bowling alley. And they got Cosmic Bowl going on. It was out of control. We get there, Crusher and I and his sister, Big Al, we get there, and the line's out the door for the event, and it is as stereotypical as you can possibly imagine when it came to this independent wrestling, circuit, if you will, promotion. Again, I don't want to dog on it because these guys work hard. They're entertainers. It was a really fun event. The fans were absolute circus act, a conglomeration. They were all caricatures. Remember when I talked about what's his name? Not Balsamic Vin. Big Time Tommy, that nut job, that killer, absolute caricature. This was an entire event full of them. Love them to death. All positive things to say about them, but holy crap, when we're talking about people watching abilities, this is the place to go. Absolutely incredible, incredible crowd. All walks of life. All walks of life. Chromosomes out the ass. Shirts, weird body shapes, no teeth, too many teeth, no fingers. Like the whole thing was just out of control. It was awesome. It was a great preparation for SummerSlam. We're going from the guys, the minor leagues up to the big leagues in just a week's time. I wish I got more pictures and stuff. It was so out of control. I met some of the wrestlers. They're super cool. It was a great event overall. I hope those guys continue to do great things. I think there's going to be another event in October in the same lounge dance club. Maybe then I'll be a little bit more prepared. Now I know what I'm getting myself into. I'll bring the mic. I'll do some interviews. I'll get some wrestling promos. We'll see what we can make happen. But that's preparation for SummerSlam. We'll keep you posted on the Slam and all things Vegas the rest of the week as we live it. Hopefully you get to live it too, and we can live vicariously through us, and that we don't die or do anything stupid. So that's pretty much that. And that's it. I mean, there's really not much else going on this week. It's been super, super busy at work, trying to find the time to you got to find the time for yourself besides just going home and watching Gilmore Girls and Supernatural. I've been hitting the sticks, playing some video games with the Creature and pals, trying to stay in touch with those guys. But I've been trying to find ways to get out and be social. It's very tough for me. I don't normally like it, especially if it's like with strangers, because I don't like strangers. Most people bother me. If you haven't figured that out, most people bother me. It's on me. It's nothing against them. I just don't like a lot of people, and you don't have to. And that's okay. As long as you're not a dickbag to them, you don't have to like everybody. So I try to get out there, hitting the dating sites, or I was hitting the dating apps. And let me tell you something. I don't like being an outdoor cat anymore. The apps are just, I don't get it. Logically, and I guess you're not supposed to use logic behind this whole dating thing. I don't know, but people, I don't even know how to describe the majority of what you see on these apps anymore. Depending on what app you're using, you get a certain crowd, a majority crowd. Plenty of Fish is loaded with transsexuals these days. Again, nothing wrong with that. That's not my style, but I can't use the app anymore because there's nobody out there that tickles my fancy, if you will. And maybe they do tickle, but I don't want my pickle tickled by another pickle. So I'm trying to avoid that. The other ones, maybe it's a DC area or what, but it's just so hard to find a real human being that you can actually interact with. That's not just trying to put on some show, some status, some facade, whatever game they're playing to make it look like they're a highfalutin in the DC political world. It doesn't make any sense to me. Again, I don't understand why people put the things they do out. You're supposed to be looking for dating, like people to date. You want to put yourself out there in a real light so that you attract real people that you have things in common with. And I just don't understand the logic behind what some of these bitches do. And I say bitches in the general sense, guys, girls. I'm sure the dudes do it too. I haven't seen what other guys' profiles look like, but I'm sure it's the same shit. Just a lot of idiots that fake it to make it sound like they're more important and they're richer. They got, they work closer to the president or whatever it is. The DC world is just annoying. All the good ones seem to be far away. And these these apps, the local talent is really just, I don't get it. The filtered pictures. Why are you putting filtered pictures on your profile? Do you think we don't see that? We don't see right through it. It's 2021. Like, if this was back in MySpace days, yeah, you might be able to get away with that because people didn't know how to filter at the time. You really had to have talent to be able to filter and hide your real self like that in a photo on a computer, because that's when we were learning the game back then. You had to have some skill. So people weren't looking for it, but you can tell now there's a filter everywhere. Every social media site, every picture editing tool has filters, and they're obvious. They're usually even labeled at like the top corner, and these fucking idiots don't even crop that portion out. So it's a clear filter. I don't know what you're hiding. If you have bad acne, which is fine. If you got some like ghoulish looking witch's nose that you're trying to hide behind, that's fine. Like, wear it. Just own it. We can see right through the shit. I don't get why you would think that a filtered photo, your entire gallery is filtered photos or pictures of just your head like a mugshot, is going to fly these days. That's a left swipe immediately. Like, well, nobody has time for that shit to try to guess what you look like. Okay? I hate to break it to you, folks, but initial physical attraction is what gets you in the door. And then you start the conversation with someone to see if you're a match in other ways, emotionally, mentally, what have you. But if you're not physically attracted to the person, why would you, like, there's no chance you're going up to them in any sort of like dating type of way. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you? And that's just the game. That's how it is. So if you're filtering your pics, or it's just a picture of your nose or your eyeball and some weird shot with you and your cat covering you, like, that's a no for me, dog. And I think it is for other people too. Maybe that's why they're still out there. I see a lot of repeat offenders, such as myself. I know why I'm still out there. It has nothing to do with filtered photos or fake information in there. I'm just not a desirable person, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm a fucking acquired taste. I'm more than fine with that. I understand that. I know there's not a lot of people out there who like that, and that's good. I don't want a lot of people to like that. It makes it a little more difficult to find the one person. Now, maybe those other people that are repeat offenders are acquired taste too. Maybe. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Or maybe it's because you got flower filters or clown makeup on and you're covering something that you're self-conscious about, and people see through that shit. I'd rather swipe right on a fat who's being real and owning that shit than somebody who's hiding it, trying to pretend to be something they're not. Own your fat. Own your ugly. Own all your bullshit. And the DC area, speaking of bullshit, 90% of the people on these sites have the same general things in their descriptions. The political, like, nonsense, I don't know what to call it. It's not just nonsense, but the way that their lives seem to revolve around one political party or another is mind-boggling to me. And I think that's just the DC world we live in here, in this small fake universe where politics is king. Outside of a 50-mile radius, it's all fake. It's all the Kardashians. It's garbage. It's malarkey. Nobody cares about it outside as much. It doesn't affect their lives. They have lives. They have real lives that don't revolve around the political gossip and the fake drama and the bullshit. But in here, it seems to be the absolute opposite. Oh, swipe. What is it? Swipe the way you vote politically. I saw that one. I see that one all the time. I see Trumpsters swipe left or whatever, swipe left, like all revolving around politics. That sucks. That has to suck if that's your life. If your life revolves around one political party or one presidential administration or something like that, that sucks. That's so sad that there's nothing else going on in your lives besides that. when there's so much else going on in this world that you can be a part of and get your hooks in and find a passion behind. And it's just a sad, depressing state of affairs when the majority of the people around these parts are just all politics or all, Capitol Hill drama. That sucks for them. I really feel bad for them. I'm also swiping fucking left. I'm not dealing with that. Until I'm president, I'm not dealing with my life around the political drama. Even when I'm going to run and campaign and take over, I'm still going to find time for family and friends and normal shit and make sure you be realistic about the situations and the issues going on in the world today. Because while it's not all sunshine and assholes, it's not all doom and gloom either. There's a healthy balance, and we can figure it out together. So keep a lookout for that. This next election, I am technically eligible, so get your write-ins ready. But the whole political, it's just... And then along with that, you can tell, at least here, you can tell someone's what side of the aisle they are on as far as their fake status that they want to portray by the other things that they add into their profile. Again, and I'm not exaggerating. This is 90%. I showed this to my friends. I sent screenshots to my friends earlier on when I was going through these sites on what I was seeing the majority of, so they can vouch for it. It's not just me making this up. 90% of the people here have the same general things in their profile. And it doesn't make sense how, there's just so many sheep. How do they even know what the other person's saying? They're all so engulfed and obsessed with being like the other person to make sure they all have that same high status symbol, that fake status symbol. It's just crazy to me. I can't imagine the amount of people who have said they do the New York Times crossword. There's no fucking way that the New York Times is selling that many newspapers where all these bitches are doing the crossword on the weekend. Every single one of them says, "Oh, I'm just looking for someone to help me with the New York Times crossword puzzle." So many things are wrong with that statement. First, I know it's a goddamn lie. It's just a lie. There's just not the fact that 90% of you, that is what you're interested in. I get it. Some people love doing that stuff. I understand that. But when the vast majority in a certain area like to do that, don't you think it's a little bit because you're being a sheep and you're trying to follow the crowd just a little bit? I find it hard to believe that the New York Times is only successful in the DC metro area. Second of all, the newspaper is not doing that well. It's just not that successful. If you look at Bumble and Tinder, they're the most successful newspaper organization in the history of newspapers. The Daily Globe doesn't hold a candle to the New York Times, apparently, according to the bitches who like to do the crossword. And again, bitches in the general sense, guys, gals, whatever you are, you're all bitches. We're all bitches. But the fact that you're doing the crossword, and then if it's real, that's the most exciting thing you do with your life. The most exciting thing that you want to put out there to let people know that's what you're most passionate about is just doing the crossword. There's nothing else going on in your life that you feel important enough to mention when you're looking for a suitor, when you're looking for a potential boyfriend, girlfriend, soulmate, significant other, what have you. There's nothing else you want to portray out there and put out there about your life that's exciting and that you're passionate about besides doing a fucking crossword puzzle and an old dusty ass newspaper that sucks dick these days. Give me a break. You got to go, you have other shit going on in your life that you need to figure out. In your head, mentally, emotionally, you are clearly dealing with some stuff that you need to get some more excitement in your life. Just put that out there. Hey, the most exciting thing I do with my life right now is this goddamn crossword puzzle. Somebody save me. At least then I'll swipe right on you and be like, hey, we can watch TV together. That's also more exciting. It's not much more, but it's definitely more exciting than sitting there and trying to read context clues from some boring loser journalist, some gossip queen journalist who's making the crossword clues. That sounds miserable. That sounds like a miserable existence. Politics and one person's crossword puzzle. Not even a book of crossword puzzles. Not even a book of like different people contributed to this book that you could get at a gift shop. And it's all these crosswords, so you could do it on the road. Whenever you feel uninterested, you could do that. No, it's just a New York Times crossword puzzle. Nobody else's crossword. What the? Like, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't pass the sniff test. And guess what? I'm very good at assessing the sniff test. It doesn't fucking fly. The fake shit. None of it flies. It's so obvious these days. The spicy margaritas. What the hell is a spicy margarita? And why does everybody here like it? It doesn't sound appetizing at all. Have you had a margarita before? They're delicious. They're one of my favorite drinks. In fact, I drink them by the pitcher in the summertime because they're sweet and delicious and I can crush them. I don't want to add spice to it. I don't even know what spice you add. Tabasco sauce? Crushed red pepper? What is it? Sriracha? I don't get it. And I know these fucking idiots don't get it either, but because everybody else is putting it on there, they got to add the status. Oh, yeah, spicy marg's the big drink in D.C. these days, so I got to make sure I put it on there so people know that I'm part of the cool kids club. Absolutely mind-boggling. Doesn't make any sense. And again, maybe that's my problem, is that I'm trying to find sense in this dating world. It's so stupid. Nobody likes spicy margs that much. Nobody. I'll take a regular margarita, and you could throw a Corona in there and dump it in like white trash that I am, and I'll have a good time with you. But if you're throwing Tabasco and Sriracha and crushed red pepper and what have you, just because somebody said that that's a good drink, I'm out. I'm out, dog. I'm not sitting there drinking shit drinks and doing some boring ass crossword puzzle with you because somebody told you that's what's fun. And you can't think for yourself because you got to toe the party line here in D.C. in the Truman Show here. Absolutely ridiculous. The fake references. I call them fake references. They're real references, but like the fake, I love obscure authors and their weird, unique opinions. And I have to make sure I put it in my profile too, is like they make some highbrow bullshit statement like, oh, I just want to find someone who realizes Bukowski was correct the whole time. Like, you're not sitting there. Just think about this life for a second. This is all adding up. Okay? We're going to go through it one by one. Think about this person. This is the person that they're portraying out to the world, to the dating world, saying, this is who I think I am or who I claim to be. This makes me interesting, and I'm highly attractive because of it, okay? You have in this case, a female who's most passionate about a New York Times crossword puzzle, a dusty old crossword puzzle, while drinking a spicy margarita, which may or may not actually be good, but somebody told them it was good, so they're drinking it. And then when they're not doing that, they're highly involved in their bullshit political internship where they tell people that they are 6 degrees away from working for the president directly, just like everybody else in the D.C. area. And then when they're not doing that, they're sitting at home with their cat and they're reading Charles Bukowski literature, writings. That sounds like such a garbage shit, boring life. I feel so bad for that person if that's what they're really doing. And I guess good on them if they're happy and then they're loving their life. And that's great. If that's real, that's great. But 90% of the people here, statistically, 90%, I ran the numbers because I'm not getting dates. Nobody's swiping right on me. So I have a lot of time to run these numbers. 90% of the people have the same checkbox, the same skeletal structure of their dating profiles and what they're putting out to the dating world. Wild. It's wild that for me to think like that. That's what's going on. That many people. There's no shot in hell that many people, that many chicks love all that boring ass stupid shit. There's no way. However, look at the New York Times crossword puzzle. It's abysmally boring. It's abysmally boring. I'd rather go and fight a war. I'll take war any day of the week. I'll go back to Afghanistan any day of the week and fight for my country. If somebody had to make me choose, hey, you got to go back over to Afghanistan for another 6 months in the shit. Or you can spend the next week doing the crossword puzzle, reading Bukowski, having a political internship that pays you a dick, drinking spicy margs and pretending you like it. What do you choose? I'm packed already and flying my ass out to Afghanistan. I'm swimming to Afghanistan. There's no fucking way. And again, if that's what they really like doing, good on them. Whatever makes you happy. That's my big thing. Whatever makes you happy, as long as it's not illegal and bothering me directly, that's fine. But don't lie. We know you're all lying, or at least the majority of you. There's just no way statistically that 90% of you all like the same shit. There's no way. And then to add on that, they always finalize things with some highbrow joke about anything. Like I can't even remember them because A, I'm an idiot. I'm lowbrow. If you couldn't tell, I'm lowbrow, white trash, blue collar, jack off. That's not even getting these jokes. I know that they're jokes because they always put LOL or some emoji on there to let you know that they're just kidding, but it's got to be highbrow about rowing or playing backgammon with Obama's, intern's son. Whatever it is, it's bullshit. It's fake bullshit. The entire community is just trying to be like the other people, or trying to be better than someone else. So they lie about it. They put on this show. It's so blatantly obvious and disheartening. I can't get over it, and I just had a bitch about it. And I'm not saying that's the reason why I'm not successful in the dating world as an outdoor cat these days. There's a lot of other reasons, and most of them are on me. And I'm fine with that. Like I said, I know what I am. I know what I like, and I'm completely okay with it. As long as, you respect my opinion on that shit, just like I respect your bullshit opinions. But holy shit, it doesn't leave many options. And like I said, all the good ones are clearly far away. Because when if I ever swiped up in New York, I saw, I used to see good ones back in the day. I know good people up there that it's just not going to work out right now. Maybe. I don't know. All the good ones are either taken far away or not on these apps because the dating game in the DC community is dog shit. I bitch about it to my friends constantly. I am not made for the outdoor cat community anymore, especially out here. I can't deal with the fake garbage. I'm swiping on hundreds of people too. That's another depressing thing. Hundreds of swipes, no swipe backs, no like matches of any kind. There clearly there's a lesbian problem, not a problem, but there's a lesbian outbreak in this area. Not a problem. There's nothing wrong with it, but clearly with like hundreds of swipes, we're talking between the apps and the other sites and nothing back. I don't get, like, if you're a lesbian, just don't say you're looking for guys. That's it. That's fine. You could do lesbian stuff. That's awesome. I love it. But don't trick me and put it out there that you're looking for a guy relationship and then you don't swipe because you're a lesbian. Just go under the lesbian section. That's fine. Do it. Maybe get more matches. But there's clearly an outbreak. There's a lot of them around here. That's great. Exciting for them. Not so much for the LPDS and getting me back to being an indoor cat. So that's just me bitching about it. I had nothing else to give you guys this week because the main mental focus is going to be on SummerSlam. So once we get out there, We're going to be hitting record a lot, doing a lot of stupid shit, trying to get some good content for you guys. Again, let us know like what you want to see. If you have anybody you want to do a last minute promo you want us to cut, let me know. We'll cut a promo and then we'll send it to you, to that individual. We did it for a few folks last time during WrestleMania. That was super fun. I hope more people ask for it. So do that. I'll put it out too this week. I'll clip this. So I'm clipping this now and I'll put it out maybe, earlier in the week. If you want a promo cut, like a cameo style wrestling promo cut by myself or the Crusher or for somebody else, let us know. Put it in the comments of this video or email LibrettiPodcastDiary@gmail, or even text me if you have my number. And we'll try to cut a promo while we're out there in Vegas. Clip it. Done. Clipped. I'll put it out there. Now, before we go, got to talk about the big three. It's more important than ever as we continue to dive, as the media and social media can continue to dive deeper into the chaos and the bullshit and the fake garbage to keep us divided and thinking about non-important shit. The most important things right now are the big three, pretty much. Exercise every day. That seems like a selfish thing. It only helps you out, but because it's physically helping you and mentally and emotionally helping you, that will eventually positively affect others around you because you'll be a more positive person. Chemically, too. The endorphins going through, the dopamine, all that shit. All the science is going on in there. So do it. Exercise every day. Number 2, don't be a shitty person. Again, it's so easy to be shitty online, like legitimately shitty, not joking. I always caveat, if you're joking with your friends and you're busting balls, that shit's funny. In the name of comedy and entertainment, we all know it's funny when you're trashing on your friends and you know it's in good fun and they know it's a good fun because the jokes are plenty and they're usually very good. But to seriously see a stranger on the internet and without knowing anything about them, just fucking shit on them, that's tough. That's a tough way to live. It's not good for them, obviously. It affects them negatively because they're human beings with feelings and shit going on as well. And it doesn't help you. I mean, you can look at most of the people that are perennial shit talkers, like shitty people online, not shitty people in person, but like online where they just have to troll and they just have to shoot down people and cancel culture them and just be assholes and dog on somebody and hide behind like that. You can look at them. They're not happy right now. They're not living happy lives. They're so angry and they have way too much time on their hands when they devote all that time to being shitty to strangers on the internet. It doesn't make sense to me. I know, though, it's very tempting and easy. Emotionally, it's very tempting. You see something you don't like, you want to immediately respond, or you got a jab you want to take on, and I showed them. That'll fucking get them. Or you're just going to dog on something like, hey, everybody, here you go. I'm posting it out there so everyone can laugh and give me likes because we've become addicted to that level of satisfaction, if you will, in life. That's where we get our happiness from. A lot of us too much of the time is the likes on social media and the engagement of people hyping you up on virtually. And if you take a jab at somebody, you know that there's going to be others that are going to be on board and hype you up and pile on, and you'll feel better about yourself. You're on that virtual moral high horse. And I get it. It feels good because I've done it before. I'm a human being. I make the same mistakes you guys do. I get that. It feels good when you get that jab and you're like, I showed that bitch. Meanwhile, there's a likelihood that bitch isn't even reading it, especially if they're famous. They got 8 million followers. They're not reading it. All you're doing is showing the regulars in your circle what kind of a shitty person you are. And you're not, even if you have good intentions, those good intentions are completely lost almost every time, except for your echo chamber, your little circle of people that blindly agree with you on everything. They're the only ones that it affects positively, I guess, because they just hype it up and they agree with it and they give you the likes and that's it. Everybody else just sees right through the shit, And it doesn't help you out at all. It doesn't help anybody, no matter what the intent behind it. So don't be a shitty person. Try hard. It's hard. I know. It's hard. Get a hobby. Go do something. If you have the time to sit there and craft up a really good shit talk on somebody, a real good jab on the internet, you have time to do something else. Okay? Go do the New York Times crossword. Apparently, it's fucking riveting. Number 3, be thankful and grateful for all the good that you currently have in your lives. The most important one. The most important thing is the gratitude. Have the gratitude for the good shit you got going on in your life. The most important thing. Because if you shift your mindset towards that line of thinking, a mindset of gratitude and being thankful constantly, your outlook on life, your entire existence is going to be more positive. It's going to be less stressful, and you're going to project that goodness out on everybody else. That shit's contagious. Just like everything else is contagious. COVID, shit talking, divisive bullshit on social media. So is goodness and gratefulness and gratitude. Focus, hone in on that, on the good shit. Be grateful for that and push that out to the masses. Let them all experience the positive good nature that you have. We all know you guys have. There are not very many actual shitty, bad human beings, like down to their core, relatively speaking. There's just not that many. Most people like got that way where you used to be good, are for the most part good, and have just fallen off the path, if you will, and have done something bad and have become what you think might be a shitty piece of garbage person, and they're just making mistakes. They're just falling into the crowd that they're in, whether they're a celebrity, politician, whatever. If we can try to get our shit back, focusing on the good and being grateful for the good things and trying to project that out slowly but surely, the good virus, the gratitude virus will spread. And we'll get people on that train instead of the other bullshit going on. All right, that's it. Big 3. Bitching about dating apps because I suck at being an outdoor cat, which is really on me, but I'm going to project it out on other people. SummerSlam. 10 tomato plants left. That's all we got. That's the LPDS today. That's the junction. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your friends, spread the word. Spread the word, spread the word. And give feedback. Let me know what you think sucked, is stupid. Let me know if you have ideas that you want to hear my bullshit opinions on, my uneducated bullshit garbage opinions. I'll do my best to put it out there for you. So give me the feedback. If you have questions, do it. I'll keep trying to put the Instagram questions in the story so you guys can ask actual questions. They're anonymous. I know who they come from, but they're anonymous publicly, so you don't have to worry about people judging you for it. But we also know that the junction, you guys are not judging each other. You're better than that. So we'll do more of that. But thank you guys again for everything, for listening, for being so supportive. You're the true ride or dies. I couldn't be more thankful to have you guys around. Thank you all. Stay strong.